It's been just over a year since new workers' compensation laws came into effect, and the state government admits they need work. There are claims the laws save the government and business money, but they're failing the people they're meant to protect. Here's state political reporter Bridget Glanville.
Dwayne Passfield has been a factory worker for 20 years. In 2006, he lost his leg in a workplace accident. Workers' compensation provides for new prostheses and medical treatment so he can continue his job.
You can't get much worse, can you? You know, like losing an arm's pretty bad, but losing a leg, unless I've got a leg to walk around on, I'm stuffed.
Under the new laws, to get lifetime cover, an injury needs to be classified as affecting 30% or more of a person's entire body. Dwayne Passfield's injury is classified at 28%.
I've lost my leg. If I don't wear my prosthetic, I fall over, or I have to wear crutches, or a wheelchair or whatever, so it affects my whole body.
He was about to lose his coverage, but after inquiries from the ABC, WorkCover now says he's covered for life. Critics say the laws are about saving money, not protecting workers.
If Dwayne, having had his lower limb amputated, is not considered sufficiently seriously injured to have protection for life, then who is protected in New South Wales workplaces?
The government now concedes these guidelines need to be addressed.
I'm also very keen to get the input and feedback from obviously injured workers, but also the wider community in terms of the scheme and making sure that it operates.
The government has committed to a review of the laws in March. Dwayne Passfield now considers himself one of the lucky ones.
This is never going to grow back. I'm not a lizard. It's not like a tail. I can't grow it back again.
He's pushing for lifetime cover for all amputees. Bridget Glanville, ABC News, Lithgow.
A new report has found that workers' compensation laws are shifting medical costs onto injured workers and their families. The Macquarie University report was commissioned by Unions New South Wales. It says the state now has the toughest scheme in the country. State political reporter Bridget Glanville takes an exclusive look.
An estimated 60,000 workers lost their medical benefits last month. And a report looking into new workers' compensation laws is scathing about the way injured workers are treated. Its biggest concern is that the insurer decides whether workers are capable of getting on with the job.
What the insurer decides with that is not only whether a worker is capable of going back to work, but what job they would take. So I know of cases where building workers have been asked to become sales representatives.
The report says under the laws, thousands of workers are now wearing the costs of their injuries rather than employers and insurers.
I think they're some of the toughest in the country, and with some of the case studies that we interviewed and spoke to, honestly, we couldn't stop but cry as we heard what they had to say and the way they'd been treated.
The government says changes were made to the laws to curb the scheme's $4 billion deficit. That debt has now been wiped.
There is a 70% increase in the statutory support in terms of weekly income support for the state's most injured workers. There is a higher return rate. We're seeing the return rate improve.
The government says when the new scheme came in, 10,000 people voluntarily went back to work and dropped their claims. There's a parliamentary inquiry in March and a statutory review will be held before July this year. The Finance Minister says he welcomes all submissions. Bridget Glanville, ABC News.
And you can see more of that report on 7:30 New South Wales straight after the news.